Good morning. Welcome back to Morning at NTV. My name is Malaki Vilodera. Now today on the solution segment, I want you to bring in your questions and we'll be sure to address them now. The hashtag is Morning at NTV. That's on Twitter. You can also stream it live in case you're not in your home and drop in your comments, NTV Uganda, and also on YouTube. And we'll be sure to sample some of those. The conversation, the big conversation today is on insurance. How much do we know about this? Do we even know how to differentiate between a fraudulent agent or a fraudulent company and them that are actually authentic? What are your experiences with insurance, companies and insurance agents? And that's the conversation today. And so in studios to break that down for us and just to play the classroom today to give us that information, because that's where the gap comes in, is Mr. Bernard Obel, who is the Acting Director Supervision at the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Welcome to studio, sir.
Thank you, Mala.
You're welcome. Andrew Chamagero was on ground with a few operators at the taxi park, and what came out strongly and evidently is that there's a communication lag, education in that area. These people come to you very enticing to sell insurance to you, very enticing. You get into that box, but through the process, you have no information. Where is the gap coming through?
I think, like we had, the gap is basically on awareness.
Right.
People have little understanding of insurance and how insurance operates. And that's what we have been doing in the industry. We have been endeavoring to educate the public on insurance operations, how the different classes operate. We have also engaged the different insurance companies and actually agreed with them that they should always educate their clients before purchasing those products. And they should also continuously engage their clients even within the course of the duration of the policy. And this has been agreed. But also on another angle, we are coming up with some regulatory reforms, very, very major regulatory reforms on market conduct. We are coming up with market conduct regulations where we have stipulated a number of issues which the insurance players have to ensure that the public is aware of at the time of purchase of insurance. The issue of treating customers fairly is key on the agenda. The customers have to be treated fairly. Each insurance company should be having a complaints desk where if you have some complaints with, say, an underwriter or a claim settling agent, you know that there is somebody specific whom you can go to, attend to, approach, and he sorts out your problems. But the issue of awareness, like they explained, we are competing against different, they have different things to attend to. Mm-hmm. They have to generate income for their families. Some of them have daily incomes. And at that point, their attention is not focused basically on insurance, as the chairman mentioned. But of course, we need to come up with ways of ensuring that these people, we capture their attention.
Okay.
Exclusively.
What you're actually pointing out is the ideal way of operations to do with the insurance players, but that actually does not happen. So do you go a step further to monitor their operations in terms of how they interface with their clients?
Yeah, we do carry out on-site inspection. Companies are supervised on a yearly basis. We look at their underwriting procedures, their claim settling procedures. We've issued guidelines for settlement of claims. And under those guidelines, we have got timelines within which they're supposed to settle claims. And we look at each and every claim that are settled. We look at the durations and how long it took to settle these claims and the reasons why it took to settle these claims. Then we also look at how they do their marketing. Do they explain these products quite well to the public? Do they endeavor? Are their products simple enough? All these products which are being sold by the industry players are approved by the authority. So we go through them, but the important point is that the public needs to know what they are buying. And in the past, we used not to have specific regulations for market conduct. But now we are coming up, in the next 6 to 7 months or 8 months, we are going to come up with market conduct regulations, whereby, a company has to do this, A, B, C, D, E, before a sale is made. And you must also even have key fact documents. A key fact document will summarize the will highlight the key issues, the terms and conditions of the policy, and the customer will be requested to sign at the bottom that I have understood this policy quite well. I know what it covers, and I know what it doesn't cover, and then he signs.
Right.
And that will be part of the policy document.
Because some of the times when they come to sell this insurance to you, they tell you all the good is in there. The good is the positives, only that. But they don't tell you that the terms and conditions.
Yes.
That bit
Yes.
is never clear. Never clear. And so when they come to sell it to you, you think that, hey, this is heaven. It's actually going to help me in my rainy days. Do you go a step further to criticize and to actually analyze how they sell? Because that's where the problem is. I'm sure even you and I have also had such experiences when someone is coming to you to sell these insurance policies. They tell you all the good things, but the underlying things you'll never come to know until you actually purchase that insurance and you start working on it in terms of paying the premiums.
Yeah, of course, like I said, we are coming up with the market conduct regulations. But of course, for the big clients, the corporate clients, most of those corporate clients have service level agreements. What are the expectations? What are the services that they expect from a broker? That's clearly outlined by the broker, between the broker and the insurance company. And it comes out very, very clearly. But going forward now, we are introducing these issues of key fact documents. Summarize the policy. Policy has to be explicit. The customer has to understand. The customer has to be fairly treated. There has been a gap in that particular area, I must agree. But we are trying to address that gap and to ensure that at the time when we are doing on-site inspection, of course, when you're doing on-site inspection, if there's nothing on the ground, they will not tell you, they will say, we are, of course, explaining, we endeavor to explain, but now we want evidence that you have explained and the customer has signed. We just don't want you to tell us that you explain. How do you explain?
Right.
That must be on the ground, on the policy document, and we must see it. You get it?
Okay. Today, educators, and because the issue is the education on the part of the, the buyers and the part of the clients. Today, educators, I'm here or I'm watching today and I've been thinking of purchasing X insurance policy, be it for my vehicle, be it for my health, be it for even my kids' education, my life education. Even now people are insuring on their funerals, So what should I be looking out for? As much as these people are quite enticing, what should I be looking out for? What are my checklist pointers that I need to abide by as a buyer?
Yeah, first of all, as a buyer, of course, you'll need to get the terms and conditions of the policy. For instance, if you are taking up a cash in transit policy, a cash in transit policy has a provision that you must have. Normally, they have the armed guard warranty. A warranty is a condition in a policy that you must abide by. If you don't abide by, then when it comes to claim settlement, you're not paid. But of course, they always say, if you are carrying maybe above 50 million shillings, you must have an armed guard. So you ensure that when you are carrying cash to the tune of 50 million, there is an armed guard. Of course, with 50 million, you can be vulnerable. Sometimes we go ahead and say there must be a bullion van, for instance, if you are carrying above 100 million, because a bullion van is safe. You can easily do that. But if you take up a cash in transit policy and you're going to carry 500 million in your bag, and along the way you say the money was snatched from me, I think that would even point towards insurance fraud, because that's expected. And first of all, where will you get the evidence that the money was snatched from you? Somebody says, I sent my driver to deposit 500 million and the money disappeared in between. So some of those conditions need to be respected because they reduce the risks. And if you don't respect those conditions and you decide to do things your own way, you increase the risks. And sometimes when they take up these policies, some of them also want to benefit unduly. We call it moral hazard. There's moral hazard in the insurance sector. So you benefit unduly. 500 million shillings, you get it in a twinkle of an eye. Money has not been stolen, but you claim it has been stolen. And I think we shall come to the issue of insurance fraud when we discuss. Of course, there are so many things to look up to. There is the issue of excess or deductibles. Some of the premiums are made low because the deductibles are high. Now, when the deductibles are high, you know, this is part of the loss that you're supposed to absorb as an individual. Now, they give you a deductible of 10 million shillings, or they give you a deductible of 100 million shillings, and then they give you a smaller premium rate. Now, you're enticed, you go for the smaller premium rate.
Right.
Yet, at the end of it all, when a claim arises, they will tell you it is within the deductibles. So ask, what are my deductibles? And what's the purpose of that deductible? Understand it. Because definitely, if the deductible is high, it's going to affect you at the time of compensation.
Right.
Yeah. So there are other issues like burglary. Sometimes they put their watchman, you must have a watchman to protect your premises at the time when you are. Somebody will take off a burglary cover, but he knows this is insurance. Of course, let me go away. I send people to get all the goods in my building, and then I say, I've lost, big time. You get it?
Yes.
So you must have somebody to protect your premises while you are not working. And such issues have always been coming up. And when we investigate a little further, you find that somebody is definitely trying to benefit unduly from insurance, and actually the loss did not occur. So those are some of the people who sometimes get aggrieved, and of course they want to hide their faces and say, no, insurance doesn't pay. Because of course there's that ugly bit that they are trying to defraud the insurance sector. But of course, with the developments that we are having at the moment with the anti-insurance fraud unit, we are going a little bit deeper to try to find out what's happening. I'll give you an example, for instance, on life assurance. People are beginning to fake death. Somebody takes up a policy with insurance company A to the tune of 100 million. He pays the premiums for 4 months regularly. After 4 months, he fakes that he has, okay, they will send somebody, the widow will come, say, my husband has passed on, and he had a policy with your company. And in most cases, they know all the claim requirements from the word A up to the last point. They even come with a death certificate. Can you imagine? Signed by a doctor, a professional doctor. Death certificate saying the person has died. But when we carry out our investigations using the anti-insurance fraud unit, you find that the person is very much alive. The anti-insurance fraud unit was set up in May this year, and it's not just 6 months old now, but so far we have uncovered fraudulent claims to the tune of 2.4 billion shillings. And that's a lot of money. And you know the effect of fraudulent claims in the insurance sector? It increases the premiums, because those premiums are charged based on the statistics, the performance. Now, if you have those fictitious premiums, which have been incorporated in the statistics, definitely the premium rates go up. And premiums now become prohibitive for nothing. Okay. You get it?
And does the unit also get into investigating issues to do with agents and insurance companies that are also fraudulent, defrauding their clients?
Insurance companies that are defrauding their clients?
Yes, it happens a lot, and I'm sure, and this is feedback that you're getting on social media. You go to a hospital, okay, and you have an insurance cover. Maybe something happens and you have to be admitted. And when you are purchasing that insurance cover, you clearly know that you've been paying premiums and that whatever thing that you're ailing from is actually supposed to be covered. But when it comes to paying the bills, you're told that, we don't cover that. It happens a lot, quite a lot. There's also the other issue whereby once you come to claim and you, for real, it's genuine, then you're not given everything. It becomes a cat and dog chase. So do you also regulate or inspect these particular insurance companies of such issues?
Yeah, we do inspect insurance companies, and we do look at those market conduct issues. And we also have a window for complaints. I've been part of the Complaints Bureau team. We've been receiving complaints from the public. When we receive those complaints, of course, we go down and look at the policy. Truly, does the policy cover A, B, C, D, E? For instance, when it comes to glasses, they can give you a limit of 500, or dental, let me say dental, you have a limit of 500,000 shillings. But you have a dental problem beyond the 500,000 shillings. You get it? So beyond 500,000, for instance, you may not be covered. But these are some of the things that don't come out at the time when customers are getting these policies. And that's why we are saying, please, industry players, let us summarize these policies. The current policies we have, if you want a sleeping pill, then you read it. It has that technical language and the flow, and you may not bring out, get the real issue. So say, highlight the issues, the major issues. Those key fact documents will be approved by us. Tell them explicitly, A is covered, B is covered, C is not covered. For instance, you might have fire insurance. We have fire standard, and then we have fire and special perils. Now for you, you took fire standard. Fire standard does not cover special perils. When there's an earthquake, when there is a flood, when there's malicious damage, when there's riot, strike, and civil commotion, that is excluded. Now, tell your client, I am giving you fire standard. The premium is low, but you are missing out on this particular aspect. Okay. These other risks are not covered.
So all that is in the pipeline in terms of market conduct of all the insurance players.
That's true.
Let's get to the issue of how we as the public and we as, the would-be clients, how we can be able to demystify and actually tell who is a, fraudulent player and who is an authentic player. What should we look out for? Because we've been having issues whereby a broker comes in, they sell insurance policies to different clients, but after a few years, they're nowhere to be seen. You can't even trace them. So as buyers, what should we be looking out for before we buy insurance policies from these brokers and agents? Because they know that's where the gap comes in.
Yeah, first of all, a broker is an agent of the customer.
Right.
Right. So a broker sells on behalf of the insurance company.
Right.
Yeah. Now, when they sell to you, they are not selling their product. So you remain with the policy. So once the broker disappears, unless the broker did not give you did not take up that cover and did not give you the policies, they're supposed to give you a policy document showing that you are on cover. An insurance agent is an agent of the principal of the insurance company. When an insurance agent comes to you, he doesn't have a product. That product is for the insurance company.
Right.
We have a list of licensed insurance companies. Every year, on the 2nd of January of every year, we publish a list of licensed insurance companies, brokers, loss assessors, adjusters, health membership organizations, all those. And then we upload that list on our website.
So we can actually cross-check?
You can cross-check with us. You just go to our website, so www.ira.go.ug, then you look for the relevant tab on the licensed players, you'll get. Same thing applies to insurance agents. Insurance agents, they apply for licenses throughout the year, whether June or July. In most cases, all the time we are processing their licenses. We also upload regularly on a quarterly basis. We update our list. So just check on that list and see whether somebody is genuine and has got a license.
Mr. Obel, we do have questions for you from On the Ground with Andrew Chamagera. Good morning, Andrew.
Well, thank you so much for gracing our invitation, Mr. Bennett, to explain this and more.
So being with regards to insurance, Chairman, Mukuru Bennett Alimonda.
Ekibuuzo kyange kigenda eri abakulira ebitongole bino ebyata insurance IRA nti tulabye bw'otambula mu Uganda wano olaba obupande bungi nga bwa Ekero Insurance buli wamu wonna insurance endala zo tezifubye kwongera kutumanyisa insurance mucho nti singa bakolawo enkola nga yawamu ng'aba insurance bonna ne batufulumizaayo akatabo ffe nga bali ku pax nze ndi ku side yaffe ya taxi osanga n'abalala naye ne tufunayo akatabo kuba ffe tumanyiganyi mu Kampala district mulimu pax nga 7 ne batulaga abantu abayambiddwa insurance nti ono bwe yafuna obuzibu twamugulira endabirwamu ono bwe yafuna obuzibu bwe yakola akabenje bwe kati ekyo kijja kujjayo omulamwa ogugamba nti insurance zibba bubbi bantu ekirala kijja kitya nti bwe tujja ku headquarters ku head office za agencies zino tusasula lisiiti nga bwe bagitulamulidde nti emitwalo 15 ne tusasula emitwalo 15. Lwaki ate ku buduuka bwammwe buno obutunda third parties ate wo waliwo enkola bw'ojja n'ogamba mu nsalireko ate ne bakuwa ey'omunaana? Ekyo kituviiramu osanga obuzibu obulala bwe tufuna. N'ekirala IRA eneetambuza insurance zonna okwongera okutugondeza bwe tufuna obubenje. Lwaki ku poliisi CPS Katwe poliisi zonna singa wabaawo embeera eno ey'okufuna obubenje obw'ebidduka, lwaki IRA eteteekawo omuntu ku desk awo mu accident room n'atugayidinga ku bintu bya third party? Kubanga bwe tutuuka awo owa poliisi akulaga naye tabitegeera, ate naawe yagigula togitegeera, ate n'owa insurance asobola okukuyamba tabeerawo. Ogenda okumaliza nga dereva omuntu gw'atomedde wali otegeera nti third party ey'okuyambako ng'ate bakuggyemu obukadde 2. N'olwekyo ffe nga bakasitoma bammwe ekyo kituyisa bubi, tulumwa.
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Bernard, you have that. Can we have a particular person from the IRA in different police stations to explain the nitty-gritties of third-party insurance? Then the other thing is, excuse me, the other issue is the question of the third-party insurance agencies that actually register and they give out third-party and they're never registered with a receipt. That's another problem. Then why can't you advertise if you really want people to understand this? Why can't advertising or billboards be placed to explain insurance more to the Ugandans?
The issue of charging less than the mandatory requirements, I think that is not in order. You have to charge the correct premium for third party, because if you charge less than the mandatory amount, when the time comes for compensation of your claims, the pool of resources will not be there to compensate you. These figures have been scientifically arrived at, and anything below that definitely is going to cause distortion in the market. So what we do with these culprits, on a yearly basis, we do carry out inspections all over the country. For branches, agencies, and all those other outlets. Of course, we get some of these culprits. And this, in insurance, we call it undercutting.
What's the punishment?
The punishment is you pay a penalty per policy of what you have undercut. The penalty is quite prohibitive, and I must say that if you undercut like 5 or 6 policies, no matter what the premium is, you can pay between 2 to 5 million.
Do you revoke licenses?
We have not gone to that extreme. I would say that revoking licenses has other implications. You know, you cannot kill a mosquito with a gun. You have to kill a mosquito with insecticide. So we have begun with these reforms, but if the undercutting becomes, depending on the magnitude, if it becomes immense, of course, we have the rights and the powers to suspend that company's license.
Have you brought any person behind bars? Has any person gone behind bars because of such fraudulent practices?
Not yet, but we are still relying on the issue of giving them fines and penalties. That's where we are at the moment. And also, what we can consider is maybe in the short term, the issue of suspending their licenses if it becomes very, very immense and widespread.
Okay.
Yeah, but taking people to, you know, we need people to reform. You know, taking somebody to prison does not solve the problem. You know, we need people to reform. You need to guide people so that people can reform, and then we move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your last remarks, sir, before we come to a close.
Yeah, my last remarks about insurance is that I would encourage people to trust insurance, to take up insurance policies. We have got a complaints bureau at IRA. In case they have got any challenges with the insurance players, they can come to us. Many people have come to us and we have solved their problems. Sometimes these are issues to do with interpretation of the policy document.
Right.
And we give the correct interpretation and say, no, this claim has to be settled.
Okay.
Sometimes it is a small issue of a refund of premium, wrongly calculated. We say, no, this is how it is supposed to be done. And we also have a window on our website where they can send their complaints to us, and then we also attend to that. We also have a toll-free line where they can call us, and we also attend to their concerns.
Do you have the toll-free line? We can get it at your website.
Yeah, you can get it at our
Okay,
website,
all
so
right.
you can contact us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bernardo Bell, the Insurance Regulatory Authority Acting Director Supervision. That has been it for Morning at NTV. Keep your views coming. They will be sure to look at those and answer to your queries. Morning at NTV still continues. Up next is Take Note with Flavio Tumusime.